Its tune regarding a plan to try 9/11 suspects in New York City. Its refrain continues that the defendants will be found guilty. National correspondent Catherine Harrods reports that kind of talk could be counterproductive.
Facing criticism at home, the White House still insists that federal court is the right venue for the 9/11 suspects, including the self-confessed architect Khalid Sheikh Mohammed.
He will be brought to justice, and he is likely to be executed for the heinous crimes that he committed in killing and masterminding the killing of 3,000 Americans.
Attorney General Eric Holder made the same claim before Congress in mid-November.
You believe that there is sufficient untainted evidence to obtain a conviction. Is that correct?
That is correct.
The president also weighed in.
I don't think it will be offensive at all when he's convicted and when the death penalty is applied to him.
Then the Harvard-trained lawyer seemed to have second thoughts.
What I said was that people will not be offended if that's the outcome. I'm not prejudging it. I'm not going to be in that courtroom. That's the job of the prosecutors, the judge, and the jury.
With these statements, a former member of the Bush Justice Department says the Obama administration risks undermining the very process it wishes to showcase, the American judicial system where the defendant is presumed innocent.
Gibbs is presumably speaking on behalf of the president, on behalf of the administration, and in that context he needs to be exceedingly mindful of what he could say for fear that he will be subsequently accused, or the administration will be subsequently accused of prejudging the outcome or contaminating the jury pool.
Gibbs has also pointed to the case of shoe bomber Richard Reed as evidence the criminal courts can handle al-Qaeda members.
Richard Reed, who tried to blow up an airliner, a story not dissimilar to what we've seen. Again, a plot masterminded by Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, was tried in Boston, Massachusetts.
But for context, Reed never went to trial. He actually pleaded guilty. This weekend, an op-ed by the former CIA director Michael Hayden warned about a reliance on the law enforcement model, where intelligence gathering was cut short. Abdul Muttalib is not an isolated extremist, Hayden wrote. He is the tip of the spear of a complex al-Qaeda plot to kill Americans in our homeland.
While there's no official estimate for the cost of trying the 9/11 suspects in the military system at Guantanamo, a defense official tells Fox that based on previous military trials, it could be well under $1 million total, primarily because the security is already in place and the courthouse, which cost $1 million, is already built and paid for. For context, the projected cost for a federal trial in New York is about $200 million a year. Brett.
Okay, much more on this later in the panel. Catherine, thank you.
You're welcome.